Dimitrius, you're 17. You have 3 kids, and 4 women right now are claiming to be pregnant by you. How the hell are you going to support 7 children? Please stand up. There's someone here that wants to confront you.
We got a 9-month-old daughter. She don't even know who you are.
He's 17 years old. He's in the gang stealing drugs. What the hell are you thinking? You have another girl pregnant. Who is the father?
That rat sitting on your stage. I hate you, little boy.
I kind of wish like you were my son. I would grab you and I'd beat some sense into you. You passed on the most ultimate responsibility that you can have in this life, being a parent.
Yes, I did it, and it wasn't right. It was bad. I made bad decisions. I was a bad parent. I don't make excuses for what I did. I had poor decision making.
But see, and I always make the argument, hold on a second, because you make that argument.
Cut me out that I
no,
can't
because you got to let me say something, though.
Can you please, like, not say nothing and cut me off?
I'm sorry. I didn't beg you to come on my show. You called me. Get off my stage. You know what? You go too. Get off. If I have to kowtow to children and drug addicts and prostitutes, I'd rather not do the show. Welcome to the show. My guest is Dimitrius. Dimitrius, you're 17. You have 3 kids, and 4 women right now are claiming to be pregnant by you. Normally, I would confront you right away, start talking to you, but there's someone here that wants to confront you. And you're 17, and you're still young and dumb. You know, and it's not an insult. At 17, I was young and dumb. But because, you know, you're having these kids and you're not acting right, please stand up. So let's bring out Brittany.
You sad, Dimitrius. I'm not laughing, like I'm serious. We got a 9-month-old daughter that ain't seen you about 5, 7 times.
Girl, please.
Girl, please.
You hold on a second. You have a 9-month-old daughter?
Yeah.
And she's 9 months old. And how many times has he seen her?
About 5 or 7. She don't know who. She don't even know who you are.
Girl, please.
She don't know who you are, Dimitrius.
Dimitrius, listen, take it seriously, okay? Because this is your child.
No, that's okay. That's how he is. He think everything a joke.
Okay.
But it's not a joke when I gotta do it all by myself, Dimitrius. I'm
struggling. All by yourself.
I'm struggling. I gotta sit there, ask my mama, everybody else for food, for clothes. She growing out of her clothes. She needs shoes, everything. She growing. I don't have it, Dimitrius. When I was pregnant with her, I was working. What did you do? Was you working? No, and I told you, I said, Dimitrius, you gotta get a job. I'm not about to do this by myself. Didn't I say that?
Yeah,
I said it. And I meant what I said. We're supposed to raise our child together. I'm raising her by myself, Dimitrius.
Yeah, now you is.
What you mean now? Before I was.
Now you is. I'm in a whole different state.
Let's stop for 1 second. You know, I'm hearing you and you're saying, why aren't you working? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And I have to say, he's 17 years old. What are you doing having kids with this guy? Listen, I want to be as nice as possible to you. Believe me.
I'm fine.
But you're 21 years old, right?
I'm 21.
Okay. And
Hold on.
Okay, right. He's 17 years old. You're this beautiful woman. You come out here. You could probably have any guy that you want. So why would you pick it? And I'm told that. Can you stop picking at yourself for 2 minutes?
Steve.
Hold on a second. I've been told that he's 17.
17.
He's in a gang.
You in a gang?
Which is not funny because it's not a real good career decision. He deals drugs or whatever he's doing out there. Why would you say, this guy I'm going to start having children with? He's 17 years old. He's in the gang stealing drugs. What the hell are you thinking?
First of all, he lied about his age. And for him to be in the gang, if I can beat him up, I don't see how he in the gang. Because when I was pregnant, yes, me and Dimitrius was fist fighting. Like 2 dudes. I'm serious.
And you was whooping me, huh?
I was whooping you, Dimitrius. Don't sit there and on TV and stunt.
I ain't got to stunt nothing.
Listen, why? okay.
And then he lied about his age. And then when I found out about his age, I was pregnant. So I wasn't about to say, oh, I'm about to have an abortion because
No.
lied about your
Listen,
age.
here's what I always get back to. If you really don't know someone's age, you don't know who they really are, if you don't know a lot about the person, you shouldn't be having sex with that person and getting pregnant. You should be, you know. I'm not trying to beat you up. You're in a bad situation now where you got a 9-month-old, did you say daughter?
Yes.
And I'm sure you love her and you're taking care of her. But do you really think that this guy can now turn around and he's going to be a father, a supporting father, a guy that's good? Well, do you work?
No.
You don't have a job, right? You don't do 40 hours a week, get a paycheck? This is your daughter?
Yeah.
Even at 17, say you are the biggest goofball in the world. You don't look at your daughter and what? You wouldn't want to go over there and see her every day?
Yeah, but she's staying in Indiana now. I moved from Indiana because I got shot in my hand.
You got shot in your hand?
Yeah.
What, you know, Dimitrius is a young guy, and we'll get into more because we just barely scratched the surface of this story. You're 17, you have 3 kids already. 4 women right now are claiming you got them pregnant, so that's a total of 7 children. At 17, you have no life experience. You didn't go through anything in life that is going to prepare you to be a father at 17 years old. It's just not going to happen. And that's not because you're a bad guy. No, it's because you're 17 years old. How can you possibly be a father? Who is going to raise these children? Who is going to be a father figure for her? How many weeks pregnant are you?
I'll be 4 months next week.
You have another girl pregnant. Who is the father?
That rat sitting on your stage. I hate you, little boy.
Can you please, like, not say nothing and cut me off?
I'm sorry. I didn't beg you to come on my show.
No,
you
didn't.
called me. If I have to kowtow to children and drug addicts and prostitutes, I'd rather not do the show. How can you possibly be a father? Who is going to raise these children? Who is going to be a father figure for her?
Me?
No, you're not.
You can't.
How
No,
come I
you're
can't?
not. No,
Because
you're not.
what is there about you that this little girl right now, say if she was 10 years old, be proud that that's my dad?
Because I'm taking care of being a father figure like I've been doing.
How have you been doing it?
Huh?
How have you
When
been
I was
doing
out there
it?
in Indiana, when I was staying with her, she was coming over my house, and when I had a car, I was going up over there to see her every day. And then,
Her, just say hi and dip out. That's not
what I do.
that's not being a father.
Your mama had to put me
That's
out
not-
Hold on. Did you give her any money?
yeah, I always give her money. Anytime she called me, about she needs something,
When did I get some money? When did I get some money? When did I get some money? $5, $10 ain't gonna do it. Her milk
I
costs
never gave up no
$18,
$5, $10.
boy.
That's what happens when you have children with children. I'm just curious. What did you want to happen today?
I want you to step up. If you don't, you're not gonna be in her life.
He can't.
Well,
It's impossible. I'm telling you, he's not going to be able to take this responsibility seriously. He's not, you know, maybe 10 years from now. But right now, you're asking for the impossible dream. You really are.
well,
It ain't impossible. And
it's okay because I'm just gonna let you know that I do have a man that's been taking care of, that's been doing things with her before she even got here. So he's gonna take care of her. He's gonna be that father to her.
Yeah.
Just like she already thinks
And
that that's her father.
Can I just ask how old this guy is?
He's 23.
Okay, good. All right.
Has a job.
So you know what? You resolved your issue already, and you'll be fine. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
You have another girl pregnant. She's 18 years old. You love the older women, huh? And her name's Taquisha. Let's bring her out.
You 17. You young as hell. Wow, that's funny. And you got
Yeah.
3 more babies on the way?
no,
That's
that
for real. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
That's messed up. Wow.
How as human
wow.
beings do either one of you come on this stage and laugh? and chuckle. We're not talking about you cheated on somebody. You're bringing babies into the world. How is that funny?
She ain't pregnant.
I'm not pregnant, Dimitrius. Are you serious?
How many weeks pregnant are you?
I'll be 4 months next week.
Why are you sleeping with this guy? Why are you having unprotected sex that you would bring a child into the world? I mean, I know I'm not giving him an excuse, but he's a dumb kid, and dumb kids do this. But who's smart enough to step up to the plate and say, I'm going to be the one, I'm not bringing kids in with this guy? Did you know how old he was?
No, I didn't.
How the hell are you going to support 7 children?
Really?
I couldn't do it. You don't have a paycheck? Who's feeding these babies?
I am.
You are. How are you doing that?
Loser.
Thank you for being on the show, Taquisha.
You're welcome.
Do we have this Christina on the phone? Christina, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Now, you're in the hospital, right?
I sure am.
And you're in the hospital because...
I had a miscarriage.
And who is the father of that baby?
That rat sitting on your stage.
How can you be so cold? She's in the hospital. She just had a miscarriage. Your child.
That wasn't my child.
It wasn't.
Nope.
Red, I wish I was on that stage. I honestly do. Well, what you coming to the hospital for then? Both times.
To comfort you.
You a liar. You a big liar.
Christina, hold on one second. Demetrius, you say it wasn't your child, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Christina,
but he's saying this because he's on TV, but 2 days ago he told me he wanted to get Dimitrius Jr. on his arm. Boy, you got me.
and you have a 1-year-old son with this boy.
I have a daughter.
A daughter.
Uh-huh.
You have a 1-year-old daughter with Christina?
Yeah.
So you have a daughter by this woman, then she has a miscarriage, and you're sitting up here and you're chuckling about it. Now I'm starting to get.
What? I ain't talking about the miscarriage.
You know what, Demetrius? I'm starting to get off now. I'm starting to get off. It's guys like you, Dimitrius. It's children like you that scare the crap out of me. Where are we going as a country when we raise children like you?
Can you please, like, not say nothing and cut me off?
I'm sorry. I didn't beg you to come on my show.
No,
you called me. Get off my stage. You know what?
You ready for me
You
to
go too. Get off. Christina, why it says you're not together with him?
For what? It ain't nothing to be together with. He ain't got nothing for me. He can't support me. He can't support my kids. He can't support my other son. So why would I waste my time with him? Somebody got to be smart, right?
Well, but I'm asking you, how did you get pregnant a second time by him?
Because it felt good. That's why. That's why.
How is this affecting your life, Christina?
It's affecting it major because I had my own crib before I met him. I had my own job. I had a little raggedy car, but it was mine until I met Dimitrius, ignorant bastard.
You know what, Christina?
Yeah.
I seriously hope that you learned a lesson.
Oh, I sure did. This mistake would never happen again.
You know,
Trust and believe that. Trust and believe. Quote my words. It would never happen again. I hate you, little boy, for real. That's what you is, a little boy. You thinking that you're pimping, but you ain't got nothing. Buy you some pair of socks. Buy you some more drawers while you keep wearing the same drawers every damn day.
Oh, and wear drawers, stupid.
That's what you do, okay?
Christina,
On the toothbrush.
Christina, focus on your daughter. Focus on taking care of yourself, and
got
really
to.
stay away from young boys because this is what happens. Okay?
Yeah, it sure does.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You know, Dimitrius, I kind of wish like you were my son. Because I would grab you and I'd beat some sense into you. I would. Seriously, someday, if you look back on this tape, if you live long enough, you'll look at yourself and say, man, I was an idiot. I'm standing up there chuckling, I'm laughing. You know, I asked you a question, what would your daughter be proud of right now as you as a father? And there's nothing. That's the truth of it. And again, I'm not saying it to be mean, I'm not trying to insult you, but you've done nothing with your life. Are you in high school?
No.
Did you get your high school diploma? You don't have a job, right?
Mm-mm.
Do you commit criminal acts right now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I got my answer, right? Let me tell you something. Only you have the power in it to turn yourself around. And I don't even know if you're going to. But seriously, the one thing I would like, that I would hope that I could change right here now, is to get you to stop having kids. Stop impregnating women. You're a child, you're 17 years old. Your ass should be in school trying to get an education so you could do something with your life. And you know what? I don't think I'm anything special. I don't think I'm any better than any other man. But the one thing I know is I think I'm a decent man. And I try to treat everybody with respect that I come across. But it's guys like you, Dimitrius. It's children like you that scare the crap out of me. Because I go, where's it going? Where are we going as a country when we raise children like you? You stand here and you chuckle and you disgrace yourself and you disgrace your parents and you disgrace your grandmother. How would you? I would be ashamed if I ever made my grandmother cry. If I made my parents, I'm 44 years old. I don't want to let my parents down. What a man does, Dimitrius, it's real simple. He waits until he's in a committed relationship to bring children into the world. He has a woman that's committed to him. You go out and you earn a living in this world. You can stand there and you could chuckle and you can laugh and you could do whatever you want. And just know, by not being a good father, by not being mature, there's horrors hiding around every corner. And there's someone out there that might want to do evil to your children. But you're such a goofball at 17, you can't protect them. I hope that one day you wake the hell up, that you'll take seriously the bringing of children into the world. I hope someday. And when your mother sees the show, I don't care what you say, she'll be ashamed of her son. How long were you addicted to doing drugs and being a prostitute?
Over 20.
Over 20 years?
I don't make excuses for what I did. I had poor
But see, and I always
decision-making.
make the argument, hold on a second, because
I know,
you
but
make
you
that
keep
argument.
cutting me out that I
no,
can't say
because
what I'm
you
doing.
got to let me say something. No, you both, you're complaining, I'm interrupting you. Can I finish? Welcome to the show. My guest is Ethel. Ethel, why did you call the show?
I called the show because I've been a bad parent. I mean, a really bad parent. I was addicted to drugs through all their lives, and also a commercial sex worker.
So you were a prostitute?
Yes.
So how long were you addicted to doing drugs and being a prostitute?
About 20 exact years. I couldn't tell you, over 20.
Over 20 years?
Yes. Off and on, you know, I went into recovery at some times, especially when I was pregnant. I went into some form of treatment center to help the baby.
And how old are your children?
I have a 22-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
So
all girls.
All girls.
All girls.
So your daughters, basically their whole lives, have had to deal with a mother that's been addicted to drugs and prostituting herself.
No, they haven't had to deal with it. They had to deal with being without a parent, because I thought it was best for them not to bring this in their household.
But that's dealing with it, right? I mean, you don't have your parent because she's addicted to drugs and being a prostitute. You're dealing with it.
Yeah, you're dealing with being without that parent
Right.
because of her own issues, yes.
And did they know why you weren't around?
Yes.
Well, then they know that their mother's a prostitute and she's addicted to drugs?
I think when they were smaller, they didn't know exactly what it was. They knew that
We're
daddy
talking-
was raising them. I'm saying when they were young, they didn't know exactly the issues.
No,
but as
sure,
they
when they're
grew
young,
older,
but you got a
they know.
22-year-old. She's a full-grown woman.
I said now that they're older, they know.
So is it better that at one point they didn't know and now they know? It doesn't matter.
No, it's not
they know.
better. That's why I've changed, and I came here to apologize to them.
Okay, so you came on the show today to apologize to your daughters.
Right.
How long have you changed?
Really just 2 months now, yes. I did it before for a few years, and I had to, and I would always go back. See, this was part of my life way before they were around. And if people that are addicted to something could change it just like that, we wouldn't have addicts. You do think people like to be like that? And as far as the commercial sex work,
but it is a decision that you choose to make. Well, everybody that's an addict, at one time, it's a decision that you made to become an addict.
It's a decision that I made. See, I started using drugs at a very young age, like 8. That was my first drug.
When you were 8?
To ease the pain, excuse me. To
when
ease
you were
the pain,
8?
yes, and I'll tell you why. I was 8, and when I used it for the first time, I used some medicine out the cabinet because I wanted to feel better. And my aunt, before she took her medication, every time she said, oh, I took my medicine, I feel so much better. So I did that.
And it must have been terrible for you, right?
It was terrible, but it doesn't excuse the decisions.
Well, that's what I'm
that I
saying.
made.
Then, when you become older and you become a parent yourself, why would you let your children have a terrible childhood then?
Why? Because I thought that it was better for them for me not to be there. And then,
How can any mother say, I think it would be better for my child that I'm not around? And if you're making that decision,
a mother that's addicted to drugs, mothers that take their children.
Why does a woman then say, I'm not going to have any more children because I love to get high, I love to prostitute myself, so if I'm doing that, maybe I shouldn't be bringing children into the world that I have no intention of taking care of.
Very true.
Why is that?
Very true. But if you haven't lived my life, you can put my shoes on, but you cannot fill them up. You can't tell me how I feel.
You know what? Because most people don't want to be in your shoes. Most people don't want to feel it. And I don't want to smell them. I don't want to be in them. I don't want anything to do with your shoes.
And that's good. That's good. And that's good. I don't make excuses for what I did. I had poor decision making.
And I always make the argument. Hold on a second, because you make that argument.
Cutting me out that I can't say
because you got to let me say something though. Because you say we don't know how it is to be in your shoes, and I look at you and say you don't know what it's like to be in my shoes.
You're right.
That's right. But I don't throw that in anybody's face.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You always talk about how long you've been a police officer. You did this.
That's
and you're a good
That's
parent.
my background.
And I feel bad for being a bad parent. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for all the things I've done.
How long have you felt bad?
Why do you think I called you?
How long have you felt bad?
Huh?
How long have you felt bad?
Look, Steve, I got clean before
2
and
months.
I felt bad. No, this time, don't tell me.
This time.
I went back, and it was for, I don't know why it happened, but I would keep going back. So should I stay there and put my children around child molesters? Should I stay there, use drugs around my children? I have seen people sit there and use drugs and the children be in the room. No, I left because I knew what I was. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I left for them not to be around that.
See, this is the logic I don't like. Well, I didn't want my kids around child molesters and being around the drugs. No, you don't make that decision, well, I'm going to not be there for my kids. You make the decisions to get clean, so you're there for your children.
I'm not here for you to smile at me, to pat me on my back or anything, because I definitely don't do that. I call this show. I know what your show is about, and I know what you do. You understand? But I make the decision.
So why are you sitting down?
Why am I sitting down?
Yeah.
Why I'm sitting down? Because they told me to sit down. If you want me to stand, I can stand. Because nothing you can do to me, nothing you can do to me.
Can you please, like, not say nothing and cut me off?
I'm sorry. I didn't beg you to come on my show. You called me. Get off my stage. You know what? You go too. Get off. Nobody in here is rooting for you to go back on the streets and do drugs. Nobody. We have no interest in that. I know I certainly don't. Nobody is here to cheer for another human being to fall. Who the hell wants that? Who wants to walk outside their door and see a prostitute walking back and forth in front of their house or down the street, or their kids have to see it, or see somebody that's addicted to drugs? Nobody wants that. So let's get this straight. Nobody's cheering on this show for you to go back and be a loser. You did say it.
No, I didn't.
You did say it.
So they can applaud to what you say. It still doesn't change who I am, where I've been. Everything I've been through makes me who I am today.
You know what? And just because you're clean for 2 months And just because you sit on this stage and you speak high and mighty doesn't take away the fact that your kids, you can't put them in a time machine and make them babies again and raise them.
And I'm not
Somebody
trying
else.
to.
You passed on the most ultimate responsibility that you can have in this life, being a parent. And you lost on it for 22 years now, or 20 years, over
That's right.
20
and
years.
I thought it was a better
so
decision.
again, you thought it was a better decision?
I thought,
How
right.
about making a decision to say, you know what? My kids
It was a
or
better
drugs.
decision, but
My
remember,
kids or prostitution.
I was under the influence.
And you know what
and
I
at
don't
that
like?
time, I thought
You know
it was
what I
a
don't
better
like?
decision.
You try to soften up your decision
No,
by
I'm
calling
not softening it up.
prostitution
I'm
some fancy name like commercial. What was it? Commercial pleasure worker or something?
Let me tell you something. It was about.
I don't know if I've ever locked a woman up for that. I always locked them up, charge prostitution, not commercial sex worker.
Yes, I did it, and it wasn't right. It was bad. I made bad decisions. I was a bad parent. I did all those things. Yes. No, I'm telling you about it.
And why are you here again today?
I'm here to apologize to my daughters and talk to them. We haven't had a good relationship. We haven't had
You're here to apologize to them, right? Why are you so agitated? I'm just asking you a question. I'm asking you why are you on the show?
Maybe because I've been sitting backstage and I had like 6 cups of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Because I was up, my flights was canceled yesterday.
Are you addicted to coffee?
No, but they kept offering it to me. So I'm saying.
So you'll take it, right?
No, I took
So if they offered you some blowback there, would you take that too?
Cool. Well, you know what? You know what? No, I wouldn't. But I wouldn't offer to do any with anybody either, even in joking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to have a lighthearted moment with you. I'm trying not to scream at you.
That's not a lighthearted moment. And you know what, Steve?
It's not lighthearted. I like the way you like to say how everything is, and the way it is, and the way it's going to be.
And I like the way you say how everything is, and that's
because
from
it's my
your
show.
side.
It's my show. You know, while you were out
life.
getting high and sleeping with strange men, I was going home and being a parent. So yes.
You say you don't compare yourself?
I am comparing myself to you.
Okay, and you do it to
I'm not
everybody,
saying,
and that's good.
Listen,
compare
in
yourself.
my life, when I go in my this is my job. My job is to do a show and entertain and make something interesting to watch. And this is the format that we do in it. Me being my experience of being a policeman. I'm sorry, I didn't beg you to come on my show.
No,
you
didn't.
called me. You're here. So if you don't like the way I conduct my show or the way I run it, why did you pick up the phone and come here? I do. What makes me angry is when somebody comes down here and tries to spin themselves in a good way when all they've been doing for 20 years is destroying their life and their daughter's life. And you want to say, I know I did it. You're the kind of person that doesn't want to be punished, doesn't want to take responsibility, just because you say, I know what I did. I can't feel any worse, and I don't want anybody to cry for me. I don't cry for anybody that makes a decision that they pick drugs and prostitution over their children. Let's bring your daughter out.
Daughters.
No, again, it's my show. We're bringing one out.
Okay.
And your name is?
Denise.
How you doing, Denise?
Good. I'm first off, I would like to say I want to give all praises and honor to God, because without him and my father, I wouldn't be here today. My father raised me for the 20 years that I have been living. I'm in my junior year in college, and I'm doing excellent. I just finished this semester out doing wonderful.
Can I, 1 second. I got to imagine growing up without your mother, knowing what you knew, it had to be tough for you, right?
Right.
You had a rough childhood?
Somewhat, yeah. I didn't have it like all my friends, but I mean, it is what it is.
And you managed to succeed.
Right.
And you're in college?
Yes.
And you got your head on straight?
Right.
Okay.
Secondly, I would like to say I'm not here for myself today. I have 2 young sisters that's 10 and 5, and if I could do anything to help them out, I am, because I love my sisters and I love my mother. And I done forgave. I don't know what else to do. I mean, my patience is running out. Deshaun and Destiny are getting so old now, and I don't have the strength, I don't have the money and the time to raise them myself, because if I would, we would have did that and moved away a long time ago, Mama. You just need to get it together. It's nothing else. I mean, for the 20 years that I have been living, I remember you being clean the longest when I was 14, and that's when Deshauna was born, and that's when we started to bond more. We started to have a better relationship. Then my freshman year in college, when you relapsed that had a big, big, big effect on me. Like, do you know how that affects me? The place you have in my heart. Like, all these years I wanted a mother. Listening to my friends like, yeah, my mama got me this, my mama got me that, blah, blah, blah. And we had to struggle. A single parent, it was so hard, very hard. With my older sister, being like the mother, like, I mean, Dad taught us everything we had to do. I mean, but then, like, when the women stuff coming around, rolling around, we 13, 14, and 15, who do we turn to? Nobody.
If I have to kowtow to children and drug addicts and prostitutes, I'd rather not do the show.
And you know, I do love you, even though it was hard for me to make the decisions that I made. And I made those decisions. None of them were good decisions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you could say all those things, but when I was sober, I tried to be the best mother I could be for you and the rest, everyone else too. And it did not hold. Denise, and I'm sorry. It's not like I plan to go back. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All I'm asking you guys to do right now is I'm saying I'm sorry. I'm not telling you to forgive and forget right now. I think that'll come with time and consistency of me showing you what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm going to learn. I'm learning from these mistakes that I made. I love you guys. I love you with all my heart. And I knew that once you got here, I was doing the best thing for you guys, to leave you with your dad.
But Ethel, that's the thing. You know, leaving them alone, not being there for them, when you make that decision, you can't protect them. You can't protect her.
Crack, any drug is very addicting. Even drinking is addicting. And if people could just put it down at the drop of a dime, we wouldn't have the problems that we have in society today.
But here's the decision.
I wasn't finished, though, for 1
okay,
second.
go right ahead.
Like, we wouldn't have the problems that we have in society today. And all crackheads out here probably don't want to do what they do. They want to live on their own, have a house, have their kids and stuff like that. And if people could put it down just as quick as it's easier. Everything is easier said than done. And when I was watching backstage, it was just like you was kind of bashing her so quickly and not really understanding. With no disrespect to your show, because I watch your show all the time when I'm not in school. I promise I do. And I love it. I'm just saying, like...
Here's the deal, Denise.
What she's saying is that's my mom.
No, and I understand that. And that's why, since you come out here, I'm not going to disrespect your mother in front of you. This is your mother. And I'm not going to disrespect her. The point I'm saying, nobody is born a crack addict. They make that decision, and it's a very bad decision, and that's a decision that you choose to make, and that's my point. When you make that decision to do that, you are sober at that moment, and when you decide to go down that path...
But I wasn't sober at that moment.
Wait.
But I wasn't.
You both of you complaining, I'm interrupting you. Can I finish? The point I'm making is when you make that decision, you start destroying countless lives.
But would you much rather her take us along and stand on the corner with us and get in the cars and put us in the back?
No, I would never want that. I would never want that. But what I would want is
for her to get clean.
You to get clean and stay clean and be there for kids. Because you said there's a big problem with this country with addiction. There's also a big problem in this country where their parents aren't there for their children. And then it's a vicious cycle. And like you said, by the grace of God, you're not screwed up. You're not out doing drugs. You're not out prostituting. That's what happens. Every parent should be at home with the kids they're bringing in the world. End of story.
No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. What about those parents that abuse their children? What about those parents that molest their children? Every parent should not be there.
This show's about you, though.
Right.
So don't start pointing a finger at everybody else.
No, you made that statement.
This show's about you parenting skills.
You made this statement about
nobody else.
Every parent should be there. And no, but I'm saying he made a statement about that.
Us.
You don't twist my words around. I don't want a parent to be at home molesting their children. It's about being good parents, being there for your kids.
Every parent should be a good parent. I want every person
who brings a child into the world, I know it's never going to happen, but the point is, you want people to make good decisions for their children. Don't do drugs, don't molest them. My God, I don't have to say that, but right now, you're on my stage, and we're dealing with the issues you made. Okay, let's bring your other daughter out, Danae, and hear what she has to say to you. Hello, Danae.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Is there anything that you want to say to your mother?
Well, like, first, let me say something to you. While I'm talking to her, can you please, like, not say nothing and cut me off?
Let's all agree that none of us are going to cut each other. We're all cutting each other off.
Yeah.
We won't do it anymore. Knock
Okay.
yourself out.
I just want to say, like, even though it came to the point where I just really don't care, I just want you to change for Destiny and Deshauna, because I'm 17 now. So, like, okay, I love you and I want you to change, but it's like, if you're not going to change, just don't be around me or stuff, because, like, once I start to forgive you and let you in, you always find a way to, like, leave.
And I accept that, you know, and my thing is saying that that's what I'm working on, Danae.
Okay, and it's like, this is the only thing I want from you. I want you to be there for Destiny and Deshauna and stuff. Like, if I come around and don't speak or something, don't be mad, because it's just, I'm not about to just be like, hey, Mom, give you a kiss and stuff, because it's not going to be like that, because it never was to begin with.
And I don't force you to do anything, do I?
No.
Okay.
I hear a daughter talk about a period that you were bonding together, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah,
And
for
the
about,
relationship was going good?
about 2.5 years.
I was
Okay.
being a good
And
parent.
you talk about there's this bonding, it was going good, it was going great?
No, it's like it just started, like, at the end. It's like, it took a while. It took a couple years for me to actually speak to her, and when I finally did, she was gone.
So my thing is, if you had a point where you're sober and there's this bonding period with your daughters and things were going good, what the hell is driving you back to do drugs? When you got your daughters back, you're there, you're bonding, everything's great. What exactly made you do whatever drugs you were doing?
Let me tell you, I told you that when I was 8, I took my first drug. After that, it became alcohol. Then after that, it became weed, hallucinogenics, and things like this. Now listen to me. So when I started with the crack, when I started with the crack, it was like I was already addicted to something. I just switched what I was addicted to. So this is all I've known. All I've known. And it was going well, but I think that as I was succeeding, it was so much pressure. You know what I'm saying? And this was something I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to. It was happening so fast. You know, everything was happening so fast.
And
I mean, I'm a good speaker. People were sending for me to come to Washington, D.C. to talk about this. I'm going to Indianapolis. I'm working a full-time job. I was going to school full-time. And I had never done none of this stuff before. And it was like, oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? Okay? And I've never been a parent before. And all of a sudden, here, I'm a parent. I'm being a parent, all these things. And it was kind of overwhelming. And there's no excuse or anything. And the other people can deal with it. But I couldn't at that time. I couldn't at that time. And instead of seeking maybe some therapy or something like that, I went to what I knew.
So I'm going to ask you a question again. What exactly drove you back to doing drugs? You didn't answer the question. You're
yes,
dancing.
I did.
You did a great
did
dance.
answer the question.
You danced all around my stage with it, but I didn't hear an answer.
I think the fear of succeeding.
I have pressure. I'm not doing drugs.
That's you.
You know what? As a parent, everybody has pressure.
I understand that.
There's people losing their jobs. What exactly was it that drove you back to drugs? Pressure? My God, that's a BS answer. No answer? Okay, let's bring your other daughter out. Yeah. Here's Desiree. Excuse me? Excuse me?
No, you can't curse.
Excuse me? What?
Right here.
Yeah, get off my stage.
I got
You know what?
You ready for me to go?
You know what?
You ready for me to
You go too. Get off. You know what? You call my show. You ask me for help. I bring you on my dime. You've seen the show. You're fans. What do you think? I am going to speak nicely to a woman that is abandoning their children? And I'm certainly not going to have children tell me how to run my show. You know what? I don't give a damn. If I have to kowtow to children and drug addicts and prostitutes, I'd rather not do the show. I won't do it.